Hi, and welcome to Get to the Roots Extras. I am Stef from Get to the Roots on Radio St. Pete. This is my podcast that I do when I talk about local music and other things relating to music. And the whole idea of the podcast is to get to the root of things. So I want to talk a little bit today about my Christmas show because it's something that I work on every year, and I work on my Christmas show for Radio St. Pete more than any other show that I do. This year, for all of my drops, I did a little bit of Jingle Bells, and also so that I didn't feel like I was playing the same songs from week to week, I only did Christmas music for this week's show, which is not usual. Usually I'll do Christmas music the whole month of December, but as a radio DJ for a small local community-based public radio station, we only have so many different local songs, and in the years past, I've added different funny Christmas songs to the database. Usually I will add Linus and Lucy, the instrumental from Charlie Brown, and other things like there's a song by Red State about a gorilla and an alien sharing Christmas, I think with a robot. It's so funny, but it's not local. It's a really old meme from several years ago, but it's a song from like a smallish YouTube channel. Actually, hold on. I will look that up really fast. Let's go to Google. This is going to be the new format of the podcast, guys. No, don't do it. Don't be so boring. No, I shall be boring. Red State Alien Christmas. Let's see here. Oh, and a bunch of AI images of aliens come up. That's great. That was called Red State. Jeez Louise. Okay, now we're going to have to go to YouTube. All right. Hopefully it'll pop up. Let's see here. Oh, Mom, I get to the Roots Extras page. It must have heard me. Red State, Alien, Martian. No, Martian. It was a Martian Christmas. Christmas? Christmas on an island with a Martian and gorilla. Yeah, it's by Red State Update. Just 3.2 thousand views on one version. 4,500 views on another from a year ago. But I've played this. Here it is, Travis and Jonathan. They only have 27.1 thousand subscribers on YouTube. They said and 15 years ago, the song had 28,000 views on an older version. So it looks like there's 3 different videos. I'll link them in the notes below if you want to check it out. It is something that I love to listen to every Christmas. Doesn't that sound good?
Play 'cause you can't get here by car. When it came time to swap races.
So it's a great song. It tells a little story about the Martian and gorilla and the singer of the song, which is this redneck gentleman that is the singer. And it goes through, he's on an island and they are exchanging gifts and they're fishing and they're just having a great time. It's very silly, but I didn't want to add that this year because I add it every year and nobody ever says anything about it. And also it's not local. And, being someone that has to care about what people think of your show, like, am I putting something out that people enjoy? The very few things of feedback I've gotten about my show for Radio St. Pete is just to use local music. So I was like, okay, I won't include that this year. So I didn't do that. And so what did you do instead? So I didn't do Christmas music until now. And I'm really pleased with it. I also put out a call for jokes on Facebook. And let me just, bring up my Facebook real fast. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, no one said any jokes for me. So I had to look those up too. Those are in the drops as well. So if we look at my playlist, yes, this is so interesting. I know, thousands of views, millions of listens. I started off with Fiona Frenchie and Anthony's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Can you guys hear this?
What did it was? Yeah, then did it was once more. Through the years, we all will be together.
And Fiona Frenchie, she's one of my really good friends. I met her through Radio St. Pete the time that I met her, before I met her. Jay was like, and Jay's our music director, who was gracious enough to like let me get involved and let me do a show. I know every day he probably kicks himself like, why did I let this crazy person into our cool club? And he's like, you must meet Fiona. She does Woman of Song. You'll love her. And Fiona doesn't do Woman of Song anymore. She's a singer-songwriter. She's traveled all over the world. She sang on cruise ships. She's been to CCBBs. Oh God. Let's Google what this thing is. I never know what anything is. CCGBs? CCGBs? I don't know. It's something in New York that is the heebie-jeebies? Heebie-G It's something in New York that's famous. It's a club. I don't know. She's been there. It's important. And so I started off with her, of course, because she's my friend. And Jay was right. He's like, you should be friends with her. And we're both a little bit nuts and out there and all over the place, but she's a real true artist. And what I really like about this release, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas with her and Anthony, it feels like she's gotten more vulnerable in an artistic way. Like, it feels like she's let some walls down recently, and I think that's really beautiful. I don't know how to say it, but it shows through in her voice. The last 2 years, the releases that she's put out are getting better and better, and it shows through in her voice. So then next in the playlist, I have Big Jim Allen.
'Twas the night before Christmas.
And so that's from Ghost Reindeer. He's a big finger picker, so a lot of his songs start like boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom. And he's magic on the guitar. Like, he can just like stare off into space and play several different complicated riffs over and over again. He's a good singer, keeps time very well. All of these things, that a normal person can't do without years and years of practice. And so there's not a lot of information about Big Jim Allen online. I wanted to actually do a podcast about him and Hannah's Whirl without actually having to take the time to interview them, but because I'm lazy and terrible person. And this is me trying. I am actually trying to get something great and beautiful out into the world with this podcast. However, it's hard because I have a very, very tiring full-time job. And also, I like to do my research ahead of time. I've seen him play with the Florida Boys. I've seen him play on the Florida Folk Show. I know he's friends with Pete and also Gary Harrell. So he also does a Christmas concert every year, and he's got these wonderful songs, but they're only really found like in local things like the Ghost Reindeer and Florida Christmas Land. And if I look him up, I can actually read. Here we go, typing again. Okay. God Bless Ye Cold Floridians. That's a good one. See, that starts out like almost the same, but it's still a great song. Like, the lyrics are brilliant. Changes made on New Year's Day.
I put the beer and ice into your washing machine, and in your flower bed we dug a budget at the dollar store.
$16. I forgot to include that in my show this year. Maybe I'll play it next year. It's actually a song about only having $16 to spend on Christmas gifts. So interesting, good music. He's always a real go-to for my show, Get to the Roots, because he comes through very clearly. This recording is always really good. Like, whoever masters his work does a great job, gets a good sound of the guitar, and he's just a professional. So the next song that I played was Our Last Credit Card Christmas by Beluga. That is the vibe of that song. Very nice. And then I switched vibes up next with Sandy Atkinson. That's fun, right? And then I had to do somebody that, like, I don't play a lot, but Tanner Boyle, I'll play him sometimes.
Outside, but at least not Indiana.
I think Tanner Boyle, he sounds kind of whiny, but I feel like that is like a sound that a lot of people like. And I feel like if I didn't make my show, but I listened to my show, I would love his work. I also used a Tanner Boyle song, part of it, for a video that I cut together for Historic Kenwood, for like an emotional part, because he lives in Historic Kenwood. I don't know that because I'm a stalker. I know that because I listen to the radio. Well, we'll get to the root, Stef. Why are you telling us all this stuff? We thought you didn't like Christmas. Yes, that's right. I really don't like Christmas very much. I don't really know how else to say it. Like, it's just a very traumatic time for me. People's families are terrible. My family is terrible. Some people's families are great, but mine is just It just reminds me of the times back in oh, let me just clear my throat. Oh, I hope the AI takes this out. Yeah. It reminds me of the time where when I was a kid, I would get my parents these gifts, trying to get them to like me. And looking back now, like, I wasn't a bad kid. It's not like I went to the principal every day. I was sweet and always trying to do things to make them like me. And so Christmas, I always had all this pressure on me to do something good, and then one year that went completely haywire, and now I realize in that the memory of that haywire Christmas where it was, like, the biggest rejection of my life from a family member, the memory of that hurt for years until recently I realized, like, "Hey, wait a second, like, normal people, they just kinda, like their kids, and they don't really care what they give them. They're just like, 'Oh, you gave me something, very nice.'" And they also, like, treat their kids better than that. So that's cool. Thank you, therapy. Speaking of therapy, let's go on. Christmas in Ocala by Truck Stop Honeymoon is an older song.
Underneath the mistletoe with your sister's boyfriend and your sister don't know.
Truck Stop Honeymoon doesn't exist anymore. They were very big in this sort of new folk music world in the South, especially on the other coast of Florida. And so the song being about Ocala, and I think they wrote the album in in Ocala, if I remember. I haven't done my research on it in a while, but I did look it up, and I added it to the database a couple years ago for Radio St. Pete. And they're not even a band anymore, but just that song is just, that's the vibes of that song. It's so funny. I mean, what's better than a funny Christmas song? I think funny Christmas songs take away, like, the pain of, like, families being not great, which is why most of the songs I put into the playlist for Get to the Roots this week are funny. And, that makes me feel like, okay, maybe there's a lot of people out there that don't like Christmas so much, that feel like a family type of pain. And there's different ways to say it. Although I do have Sandy Atkinson in here singing.
But I love Christmas. Yes, I really do.
Not me, Sandy, but it's a good song, so we're gonna have it in there. Rebecca Pulley does a great song too, December 25th. And this is another non-funny song.
Christmas to the sinners and the misfits.
So unlike Tanner Boyle, like her sound it's not like whiny, it's more of a longing type of sound. And I do think that Tanner Boyle's music has gotten better. Rebecca Pulley's music is wonderful already. And I really feel like there's a lot of evolution happening at these ground levels, at these root levels of these musicians that are local to St. Pete. And it's so wonderful to hear how someone's sound will change and evolve over the years, especially but when they're getting better. Here's another funny one from the first hour, too.
What you gonna do? Put off his wave bands and look in a bikini or two.
I don't know if that's coming through very well, but that's Santa Bought a Yacht by 308 Ghost Train. And obviously, you got to have that on there. So I have a 2-hour show on Radio St. Pete, as you may or may not know. So I would Get to the Roots 3 to 5 Wednesdays on radiostpete.com or 96.7 here in the city. Also, Steady Eddie is a big person in my shows.
Cuddling up and keeping warm, twinkling on the tree, feeling.
And Steady Eddie, I don't always play him on my show because he does more of like that trop rock, but there are some holiday songs for both Halloween and Christmas that I always try to play. He is such a nice dude. He's one of the only people that always recognizes me, and I'm always like, who is that? If he has a different hat on, I don't know who it is. And I'm like, oh my God, you're Steady Eddie. And that's not even his real name. His real name is Mike. So if I just guess a couple men's names, I'll be like, you, but once we get talking, we know we're friends. So that's another person that I really just, he does like, what is it, Golf to Bay band, Golf to Bay trio, just, it's not so much folk music, so it doesn't fit my aesthetic, but he's really good too. And he and I have like a random mutual mailman friend, which is hilarious. Also included in my show this year is Santa, Won't You Please Bring Me Some Beer by Moho Gurus. Marry Me, Marry You by Julie Black. This is the vibe of Julie Black. I freaking love Julie Black. If it'll just play. Wait for it. It's coming.
Hear the happy sound of the season. Holy night, lonely. Spread the joy.
He has a really raspy and wispy voice. Oh, look, I'm looking at my second hour. I did remember to include $16 by Big Jim Allen. This whole thing is basically just like the Big Jim Allen encore show. And that's that's the struggle that I have every year during a Christmas show is I'll add things to the database. I'll be like, okay, it's not really local, but it's special for Christmas. I want to do like all local musicians this year. So I did. And also coming up on my Christmas show for Get to the Roots on Radio St. Pete is something really cool. It's the radio release or the radio debut of my song with a crazy grandpa, Jérôme Savoie. And that's going to be the next episode here on the Get to the Roots Extras podcast because I'm going to go edit that audio and footage right now to put it on as a podcast episode. And he's going to do the same. Jérôme Savoie is Quebecian, Canadian from Quebec, speaks 4 languages. Yes, French, English, Spanish, and German, and sings. He's an opera singer, and we meet every Sunday night. It's a Sunday right now, by the way. We meet every Sunday night, and we try to do music. And if we're not doing music, we try to talk about social media, and we share what we learned. And we were in a group that did that, and now we just have the group ourselves, the 2 of us. But we have written 10 songs. So our first one did come out finally, which is going to debut on my Radio St. Pete broadcast. But it's already out. It's called We Didn't Start the Fire 2 by Crazy Grandpa, a.k.a. Jérôme Savoie, and also partially written by me. And I did lots of other stuff too for the video, all sorts of things. But you can hear about that in the next podcast. Anyway, I just want to take the time, if anyone is listening out there, to wish you a Merry Christmas, whether you like it or not. Hopefully that whatever bad memories that follow you around for Christmas, I hope you can hear a funny song. Or I hope, like me, you can get to the root of your pain and be like, hey, wait a second. I shouldn't have had to try that hard. I was a child, and these people were grown-ups, and they were being buttheads for fun. It all makes sense now. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, and suddenly I'm a less angry person. Amazing. And hopefully that'll happen to you as well. I hope that you do check out all of my shows because I really do put a lot of work into each of them to theme them, make them have a certain vibe, feeling. I try to send good vibes to people through the radio. Try to play a lot of funny songs, honestly. And I hope that you just have a great time wherever you are in the world and wherever you are in life. Okay, thank you so much for checking it out. Please check out the next podcast broadcast. I'll have a video version on YouTube. I will have the audio version up on Spotify, everywhere else as well. Please give me 15,000 stars on Apple Podcasts, a bunch of likes, and everything else in the world to make this a fun brand where I can just come and talk to you. And talk to me too, right? Yes, stop it, me trying to be another voice to make it interesting and so people will listen. Yes. Okay, goodbye. Oh no, one more thing before I forget. I did I am trying to get a copy of my Christmas broadcast to put onto my Get to the Roots Extra channel so people can hear the local music and can hear my really funny drops, which I'm so proud of, which is so stupid, I know. But hey, I might as well be cringe and love it instead of be cringe and hate it. And if I do, that will appear sometime after Christmas here on the Get to the Roots Extras channel. And you can always save it in your playlist to play next year, or just check it out and flip through it like I did on the show today for you all.